Hello, book 2. Well, I've got a little mail for you here. We've had intermittent showers and thunderstorms all day, hence the dispirited bean in the background. It's not bright and sunny. It's not low humidity. She's a little bit deflated because she doesn't like going out in the rain. She doesn't like the heat. She doesn't like the humidity. She's an autumn kind of dog, I think. I'll be keeping an eye out this autumn to see. I bet her spirits perk way up. Plus, she's also a little bit resentful because I clipped her ears. Her ears just grow huge tufts of fur. So and the neat thing about clipping the ears is that it's easy to do because you know where the ear ends, so you're not accidentally going to clip her. So I gave her a stern talking to, and we did that. I clipped her ears, and I clipped the hair all around it to cool that off just a bit, and she doesn't like that. She doesn't like that at all. She puts up with it. And then when she's had enough, she raises one little paw and tries to deflect the scissors. She won't bite. She won't howl. She won't thrash around like Lucy used to do. She won't do anything like that. She just, after a while, she signals that she's had enough. So there's a little more trimming that I want to do, mainly her rough area and her breastbone. The hair is pretty thick there. I want to sort of trim that out because the next few days are going to be brutally hot and humid, brutally so. So anyway, well, we've got 3 packages here. We'll go through them and see what we have. See if there's anything of interest. Okay, this first one is from Simon & Schuster. It comes laden with blurbs, just laden with them. And it comes out in early August. It is by Tope Forlaren, and it's called Review Copy Not for Resale. The pub sheet says that that the book is called A Particular Kind of Black Man, but the most prominent thing by far on the cover is Review Copy Not for Resale, and it cannot be removed. So I'm assuming that is the new title. And the author is a Nigerian-American writer based in Washington, D.C., who's won a number of prizes and been shortlisted for a number more. And he was educated at Morehouse College and the University of Oxford, where he earned 2 master's degrees as a Rhodes Scholar. But I don't see any detail about whether or not this is his debut. I wonder if this is his debut. Well, that would be great. Is this his? Yes, it is. This is his debut. God, he has blurbs from everybody. Good Lord, look at all of these blurbs. So what is this? A Particular Kind of Black Man is a sweeping and perspective-shifting debut novel that explores the meaning of memory, manhood, home, and identity, as seen through the eyes of a first-generation Nigerian American. Small-town Utah has never felt like home for Tunde Akinola. Classmates touch his kinky hair and wonder why the brown won't rub off his skin. Really? So people in small-town Utah will rub a black man because they wonder why he's got mud that won't come off. Really? Okay. All right. Okay. Okay. While his ever-optimistic father clings to the American dream, his mother feels trapped and lonely without family and friends and flees to Nigeria after a harrowing schizophrenic episode that lands Tunde and his brother in a homeless shelter. Tunde spends the rest of his childhood searching for a connection that can help make sense of his tumultuous past. To the Nigerian grandmother who keeps him tethered to a home he's never known, to the opaque stepmother and stepbrothers he gains when his father remarries, to the Utah residents who mock his father's accent, to the Texas middle school's crowd of African Americans, to intoxicating and resolute young love. In doing so, he discovers something that sends him on a journey away from everything he has known. Okay. Well, a lot will depend on the writing style. Debut novels, that's usually what I go for. Debut novels have a host of endemic problems, and I've scarcely ever seen a debut novelist that can avoid them. Maybe they avoid 1 or 2, but I've almost never seen one who avoids them all. That's when you get a reviewer who will say that classic phrase that a book that does not read like a debut. I've done that myself, but it's comparatively rare. So we'll have to see what kind of writing style is going on here, and how many of those mistakes, those debut novel mistakes, this author avoids. His name is Tope Forlaren, I got to confess that the wording on of course, the publicity sheet is not the book. To keep that in mind and judge the book, separately. But the rendition, ordinarily the pub sheet is at least known to the author, if not helped to be written by them. And that pub sheet is a little bit on the dicey side. I mean, racism exists in America. Of course, this is a racist country. We have a racist president. Racism exists, but 16th century racism doesn't exist in America. And I myself think that blatant, outspoken racism is far less common than the panic media would have you believe. Outspoken, outrageous, oh my God, I'm clicking in outrage on this story kinds of racism is good for traffic, but I don't believe it's as common as that narrative gins it up to be. And even if it were, even in the places where it is, adults are not going to rub a black man wondering why his skin is brown instead of white. Okay, because adults have TV and have had it their whole lives. They've gone to movies. They have the internet. But setting up a straw man like that when you already have a legitimate grounds always bugs me. It always makes me wonder if the author is going to indulge in other weaknesses. But we shall see. This comes out soon, so it goes to the head of the list for reading. So let's see what this next one is. Oh, goodness gracious. I just finished mentioning 16th century racism. What are the odds? All right, this is by Alan Gallay, and this is a new biography coming out in late November of Sir Walter Raleigh, architect of empire. Sir Walter Raleigh imagined himself a great colonizer of overseas lands who would earn fame on par with Columbus and Cortez. But his legacy is quite the opposite. Raleigh is remembered as a failure. He is perhaps most known for his trying and failing to found Roanoke, the first English colony in America, and for searching fruitlessly for El Dorado, the legendary city of gold. And in this book, Bancroft Prize-winning historian Alan Gallay chronicles the legendary life of Walter Raleigh and offers a new origin story for the English Empire. And who is Alan Gallay when he's at home? He's the Lyndon B. Johnson Chair of United States History at Texas Christian University. So much wrong with just those few words. Wow, but good on him. It's a credit. And the author of several books, including The Indian Slave Trade, which won the Bancroft Prize. And he currently lives in Fort Worth. Okay. All right, fantastic. A new biography of Walter Raleigh. Interesting. It's going to be interesting to see what a 2019 author has to do with Walter Raleigh. This is a perfect case where I wish I knew how old the author is. I wish I could take a look. The finished copy will have his picture on it. I'll be able to tell, whether or not he's woke. I'll be able to tell how young he is. But I'm interested anyway. I haven't read a Walter Raleigh biography in a couple of years, so I think we'll do this last one. Feels like a finished copy. The Tope Forlaren novel might have some competition. I'm obviously not going to read the Walter Raleigh thing right away because it's November. Oh no, this is not a finished copy. This is just really heavy. Okay, this is an October release. Okay, all right. This is by Matthew Lockwood, and it is To Begin the World Over Again: How the American Revolution Devastated the Globe. So this is from Yale University Press. They almost never let me down, and this is an American Revolution book. The American Revolution did not end with the exchange of sword at Yorktown or the scratch of a pen in Paris. In this book, Matthew Lockwood shows how the birth of the United States sowed the seeds of collapse for millennia-old civilizations in India, Australia, Africa, China, and the Middle East. In the wake of the world's first truly global conflict, preeminent empires of early modern era were fatally undermined, he argues, setting the stage for the modern age and global domination by Britain, Russia, and the United States. Most previous books on the American Revolution have focused on the 13 colonies. This book presents in vivid detail the revolution's reverberating impact beyond the borders of the new nation. Interesting. Very good. So who is Matthew Lockwood? He's an assistant professor of... I'm just assuming that it's going to be something as absurd as that last credit, like the Julie Andrews professor of ancient Greece, something like that. He is the assistant professor of history at the University of Alabama, and he's the author of The Conquest of Death: Violence and Birth and the Birth of the Modern English State. Conquest of Death. Did I read that? I think I did. Okay, well, great. Okay, so what a weird mail haul. So we have two works of, one work of American Revolutionary history, one work of biography, and then a debut novel. So that's three things that I really love. So we have To Begin the World Over Again, about the international impact of the American Revolution. We have a fat new biography of Walter Raleigh. Fantastic. Can't wait. Will wait. Can't wait. And we have review copy not for resale, a debut novel by a Nigerian-American author. So the debut novel I will do right away. The other two I have things to look forward to in the fall. So not a bad little mail haul. Of course, any mail haul is going to feel a little anticlimactic when it contains no cookies. But that's okay. I'll suffer through. See, Frida and I are both a little deflated. Oh. But anyway, I'll wrap this up for now, but I'll be back. Thank you, Book 2.